Good morning, student. Today we are starting with the new topic for the discussion of cell biology. For those who are beginner in class 11 biology, they need to understand that the basic subject and the basic topic of the biology, that is cell biology. Now we will start with the cell biology, and in this case, cell biology, you should understand that you have to remember the history of the cell biology so as to understand what is in the cell biology itself. Now, if I just want to define the term which already written over there, that is the cell biology, it means what? Is the study of cell. Study of cell is known as cell biology. Now, if you think, if I break the word, let's suppose this is the cell and this is the biology. What is biology? Biology itself says study of living organism. Study of living organism. So what it says, that means the cell biology, it says that the study of cell, but whom? Of the living organisms. And this living organism can be plant / animal, or in case it can be a microorganism. So what we are studying over here, the cell biology. What is cell biology? Study of the cell, their structure and function. What we will study in this segment? The study of cell, what? The structure and the function. So let's see this thing. Before seeing the structure and the function of the cell, we should understand that the cell biology itself is a vast old theory, and that theory has been given by so many other scientists. The first one is the Robert Hooke. The second one which I am writing over here is Anton von Leeuwenhoek. This is the name of the scientist which play very important role in the discovery of cell. Now, I just want to brief you how this will different from the other perspective. Now, in this case, if you see the name Robert Hooke was the responsible for the discovery of the cell. Who is responsible? The Robert Hooke is a responsible for discovery. But first time observation of the cell is been done by whom? It's Anton von Leeuwenhoek. The first time observation is done by whom? The Anton von Leeuwenhoek, who are a renowned scientist, which is also known as the father of microscope, because in his lifespan he created almost 250 types of microscope. So this is a very tricky situation. Those who are attending for the NEET examination, they must understand, they must realize this, that they can be asked in a twisted question. In such cases, they may ask, who discovered first? Then Robert Hooke. But who observed first? Is Anton von Leeuwenhoek. So you have to be careful. At the same time, you should be patient enough to understand what the question is asking, and then only you are moving towards, you should move towards the answering of the question. So now in this case, this is the discovery part of the cell. Now with this regard, we should understand that what is cell. So cell is nothing, the cell is nothing but the structural and plus the functional unit. We will see one by one how structural and how functional. Now in this case, the structural case, what will happen? Because cell will unitely form tissue. Tissue unitely form organ. Organ unitely form organ system. And that organ system unitely form body. It means if you ask what is the monomer unit of the body, it is always a cell. It's a monomer unit of the body. Now, if this is the monomer unit, it get combined from tissue, from organ system, and from organ system to body. It means it's our structural unit of life. So hence we written over here as the structural unit of the light. Now in this case also, how it's functional unit? See what happened. The cell is responsible for performing the function. Now if you just think that if the cell is responsible for the functioning part, then number of cell will combine and perform as a tissue. No doubt about that. In the same case, the number of organ, those tissue get united and form the organ. Now, this organ get united and perform as an organ system. So, if you start with the liver cell, liver tissue, itself a liver, and that liver is made responsible for the circulatory system, for the digestive system, and so many else. And this all system get combined and form the body. So it's a very important that you should understand, because this line, these two topics, these two words, you are listening from I think class 5th onward. But still if I ask in a detailed case, you won't be able to answer my question. So it's a very important that the cell, tissue, organ system, body, how we say structural and functional unit to cell. I hope you clear this. Now we will want to see just that the how different theories are proposed for the study of cell. So in this case, Schwann and Sheldon, these are the two scientists. These are the M. Schwann and Sheldon. This Schwann and Sheldon are responsible for whom? For giving the first cell theory in the year 1838 and 1839. Who gave? Schwann and Sheldon. Who gave? Schwann and Sheldon. These are the name of the scientists in the year respectively 1838 and 1839. They are used to give the first cell theory. Now, what this cell theory says, the first point itself says everything. They said all organism all organism. Now when I say all organism, it automatically count the plant slash animal. All organisms are combined or formed or made up of cell. The second, when they put this theory in front of the scientific community, they ask that if you are saying the all living organism like plant and animal made up of cell, then tell me how cell generated. The question is the how cell generated. And over here the question mark is raised, and this question mark leads to the failure of the first cell theory, because both of the scientists weren't able to answer this question. They rightly said all organisms are made up of cell, it is acceptable, but when they ask about the how cell generated, they failed to answer, and hence their first cell theory get flopped. Now obviously if something get undone, or you can say the work is not fulfilled, so someone has to step in and do the work. And the same for the same in the year, I will write it in the same manner which I write it earlier also. The first, Robert Virchow. Who? Robert Virchow. In which year? 1855. Which year? 1855. I again writing in the same manner. Second cell theory, which is also known as new cell theory. Now in this case, if you see, the first point of this theory is also remain the same which the earlier theory had. Which is the first point? The first point is all organism made up of cell. Now when all organism, it's a PA, that is plant and animal. Now the second question is asked because the second question is most important, because the earlier theory failed to answer this second question, and the second question is how cell generated. So they ask from pre-existing cell. How new cell form from the pre-existing cell. How new cell form from the pre-existing cell. The new cell will form. New cell will form. It means what? This is the best example of second cell theory, which earlier theory won't be able to prove, because the first point is common in case of first cell theory and second cell theory, but the second point itself make a differentiate between the first cell theory and the second cell theory. That's why now I can say the first cell theory is known as old cell theory, while this one is known as new cell theory, which is given by the Robert Virchow. I think I just correct a Robert Virchow. In some of the book you may found that the Rudolf Virchow. So it's better to write over here as a Rudolf Virchow. Okay. So now in this case, the R. Virchow is in the year 1855 give the new cell theory in this form. So I hope you understand what I am trying to say. Now we will see the next half, and that is what? Just the differentiate between what is prokaryote and what is eukaryote. But just before going to that point, we should understand that if this is the cell, if this is the cell, in this case, this internal structure is known as the nucleus. And this nucleus is discovered by the Robert Brown. Who discovered nucleus. And why I just emphasize on this discovery, you will came to know. Just wait a moment. What is prokaryote and what is eukaryote? What is prokaryote and what is eukaryote? You should understand prokaryotes and eukaryotes. This is the very important, because some of the higher class students won't be able to differentiate this word. They just mug it, and this is not the right way to study this. Now in this case, pro means primitive or primary or next to absent, or you can say undeveloped. But in this case, what is the meaning in eukaryotes? Eu means true, complete, developed. Now, I'll just break the word and find out the meaning. You can also do the same thing. What is karyote now? These karyotes are nothing but the karyon. What? Karyon. And what is karyon stand for? Nucleus. What is they stand for? Nucleus. So now make the definition of these two words. You are so intelligent. How? Pro means primitive or next to absent. What is next to absent? The nucleus. So those organism in which the nucleus is undeveloped, next to absent, such organisms are known as prokaryotes. And in this case, if this nucleus is well developed, complete, or truly present, it means what? This organism will be known as eukaryotes. So those organisms which have complete nucleus are known as eukaryotes, while those organelles which have almost undeveloped condition of nucleus are known as prokaryotes. Why I just emphasize in two words? Because complete study of biology of cell, regarding division, regarding classification, regarding taxonomy, you should understand what is prokaryote and what is eukaryote. Majorly in prokaryotes you will find the unicellular organism, and in case of eukaryote you will find the multicellular organism. Now I just want to differentiate that also. What is what is uni and multicellular? Because you may know this, it's very easy. How? When unicellular, and this is multicellular. Now, what will happen? Uni single, cellular cell, multi many, cellular. Now you can make the meaning. Those organisms which have single cell are known as eukaryote, unicellular, prokaryotes. And those organisms which is made up of many cells are known as multicellular. So the prokaryotes resemble mostly unicellular, while eukaryotes resemble majorly the multicellular organisms like like animals. And over here the best example is amoeba. So I hope you like the first segment of our cell biology lecture. We will meet in the next lecture regarding the another topics of prokaryotes, eukaryotes, and membrane-bound organelle. We will discuss detail the compositions of the organelle, difference between organ and organelle. We will definitely discuss all the aspects of cell biology one by one. So I hope you like this. We will meet with the next lecture. Thank you.